So I was talking about a single row. This is a 1:3 table. That should be a 1:3 table there. First of all, merge all these things. And that should be a 1:3, as I have told you. 1:3. That means tr equals to 1 and td equals to 3. That means there will be a single row and there will be a single column. And total number of cells, let's for say I refer it as TNC, total number of cells. That should be number of rows, which is 1 here, into number of columns, which is 3 here. So 1 into 3, that will be equivalent to 3 columns, 3 cells. So there will be total number of cells, there should be 3. And that is what we have seen here. Total number of cells here. This is the first cell, this is the second cell, and this is the third cell. So total number of cells here is 3. This is what we are actually trying to make in our web page. So let's get back to our text editor and started typing. So the first thing is we have to place here hello. The second row, that consists of what? That consists of the image. So all we have to do is to place here. This is another tag which is known as image tag, and it is an empty tag. Soon we will find it out. So this is the image. We are mentioning the source of this image. What should be the source of the image? So all we have to do is to get back to our folder as usual, as we did in the very first place here. And this is actually the extension name, JPEG file. Type of extension, JPEG. So all we are doing here, again, right clicking on it, and then we are going to the rename option, and then we are copying this name of this file. It is bg image, pressing Ctrl V here, dot the extension name. This is the extension name. Then we are providing an alt tag, alt attribute. Whenever due to slow connection there is no such reloading of your image, then this text should be seen there. This alt tag, it is actually a very important attribute, as it may help you boosting up your web page, and it specifically helps in SEO and other things that you will be later be acquainted with. But first of all, you must provide this alt tag. Whenever you are creating an image source, you must create an alt tag here. So give anything name. For the time being, I am giving it a name as star. Then I am providing a space into it, ending up with a slash tag and closing the bracket. So here goes the total thing, and as you can see that it has the opening tag, but it has no closing tag. That's why it is an empty tag. So as we have told in our previous lesson, that image is an empty tag. So that is why image is, and that is how image is written here. Here comes the image tag, then comes its source, and then comes the alt attribute over here. You may provide many more things such as the dimension, like width or height, or you may provide here the title of this image, but that's a matter of later thing. For the time being, you just provide here these two things. Now you press Ctrl S, and in the third column, this should be coming here, which is known as word. The content it should contain here is word. So here starts the row and here ends it, and the rest of things they are not needed here up to this point. That's why I am deleting it, and I have constructed a 1:3 table. That means there will be a single row and there will be 3 columns. Reloading it. All we are seeing now, actually, this is actually the image. This what I did here, actually, this is the background and the same image I have used here. So I think these two things have merged together. So let's change this image first. So behind the scene, what I just did here, I just changed the image. Now I'm going to the internet browser and I'm reloading it. So here comes the image, and here comes your first text, and here comes the second text. Now the question is, what we are seeing here, that this image is even wider than your display, than the original dimension of your monitor. So let's find out the problem here. Actually, what we did here, we are mentioning that the total width is 1000 pixels, but we never did mention any dimension for the individual cells. So this is the time to introduce dimension to the individual cell. Now I am providing dimension over here with 100 pixels. The last one with 100 pixels. Sorry. And for this one, so total width is 1000 pixels. There's a border over here. We have provided a border. So this border should be discarded off from this width, and the remainder and the remaining what should be applied here as a width here. It should be applied over here. So the basic thing over here, what we see, this is 100 pixels, this should be 100 pixels, and there's a border, there's some cell padding and cell spacing also. So it will be a very safe thing. All we have to do is to first calculate the total width of this middle column. This gap is 10 pixels and this gap is 10 pixels. So there should be a 10 pixels and 10 pixels, 20 pixels. That means here should be this should be 10 pixels and this is also 10 pixels gap. So a total of 20 pixels plus the total width of the border you have provided, it is 1 pixel. That means 1 pixel for this one and 1 pixel for this one. So this should be discarded too. That means a total of 20 plus 2 pixels, that means 22 pixels. And here it is 20 and 2 pixels, that means 22 pixels. So a total of 44 pixels. You should be deducing a total of 44 pixels from 800 pixels, as you have given a total width of 100 pixels to the first column and a total width of 100 pixels to the second column. So 100 plus 100 equals to 200. So you discard that from 1000. It should be actually 800 pixels. The middle column should be 800 pixels, but as you have provided a cell spacing of 10 pixels and a cell padding of 10 pixels, that means 10 plus 10, 20 pixels, and it comes in both sides. That means it should be 20 into 2, that means 40 pixels. You have provided a border of 1 pixel total. So that means you have to discard that too from the total width of 800 pixels of the middle column. So a total of 40, and here it comes 2 into 1, 2 pixels. 2 into 2, 4 pixels. That means a total of 44 pixels should be discarded from 800 pixels, and that in turn, here comes the calculator. A total of 800 minus 44 equals to 756 pixels. So it will be wise enough to provide a total of width 750. Now I'm reloading it. Still there's no change in the display, because you never mentioned any proper width, any proper height, any proper dimension for the image itself. So all you have to do here is first provide a proper information to your image, and here comes the dimension for your image. It should be width 750 pixels. Now you go to reload it, and now you see that the image is now all set into the middle column. So here comes the text, here it is hello, here comes the text, here it is world, and there's an image in the middle column, that the width of the image which is 750 pixels. So always, all you have to do whenever you are whenever you are creating a table, and whenever you are assigning some columns into it, and whenever you are assigning some contents into your columns, into your respective columns, all you have to do is to first calculate the total width and the total height, if there is applicable to if there is applicable anything for the height. So all you have to do is to first calculate the dimension of your table. If you want to provide a proper width and height to your table, a proper dimension to your table, suppose as we have given here as 1000 pixels. So if you just provide here 1000 pixels of width, that means there should be 3 columns and there should be text, and you are just calculating now the width of each individual columns respectively, depending on the contents that lying within. As in this case, it is just a small word hello, and there's another small word world. So all we did here, we just provided a very small amount of dimension, a very small amount of width here, only 100 pixels. This is 100 pixels only, and this is 200 pixels, and the rest of the things that was for the image, which is 750 pixels, that we have calculated depending on the cell padding and cell spacing of the table. As you have provided here 10 pixels, if you have provided a total of cell spacing, you have provided here 10 pixels, but the cell padding you have provided here 20 pixels, then you had to recalibrate the exact amount of width, and then you have to assign it to the middle column. Else there will be a huge amount of distortion of the display. Now if you wish to keep this hello word on the top of the table, all you have to do is to get back to your content, and in the TD, there goes the hello content, and in this TD tag you should have provided with what? This is known as v-align. V-align top. And you see that the alignment of the word hello, it is now coming from the top. If you use that attribute again over here, but this time keep it in the bottom. Now you see that the word hello, it is on top of the table, and the word world, it is now at the bottom of the table. Likewise, if you want to change the styling of these particular words, hello and world, individually, then all you have to do here is to add some additional attributes into these tags, such as I am using here world, and I am using here h2 tag. This is the header tag that we have discussed in our previous chapter, and I am providing h1 over here, Press Ctrl S, go to internet browser and reload, and you will see that size of these words, they are already grown up. They have already been grown. The word hello is now increased, the word world is now increased, because you use two different header tags, two different section formatting tags, that increases the size of these words. Now another thing, if you want to change the font color, then go to font color, suppose you are using a yellow color over here, and you are closing the font tag over here. As font tag comes later than H1, then it should be ended first, and then H1 should be ended over here. So font color FF0. Now if you want to change the size, let's assume that I am not intending to use this H1 tag. What I am just trying to use here is the size attribute. It is +4. The default value is +3 and this is +4. That means the total size of the font should be 7. Now we just press Ctrl S and reload it, and you see that the size of this font hello, it now been increased here. The same thing goes for this world section. I am removing this H2 term, and I am this time giving here not FF0 but 0FF. And I am providing a size of +2. That means the total size of this font, of this text word, that should be 3 + 2 = 5. Now I am pressing Ctrl S and I am getting onto internet browser, reloading it, and we see that the font, it has been changed, the font color has been changed, the size has been changed. This is the hello word, which is bigger and have different font color than this word. That means all you have to do is to provide a separate hyperlink reference to this image, because you are linking this image into another, opening into another image. So far you see, if you click on here, there is no such thing is happening over here. So now let's get back to our project again. What we are doing here, we are going to text editor. This is the image source, and here I am using the ahref again, and as we did previously, we now first provide the name of the folder where this image is stored. Right clicking on it, rename it, press Ctrl C, or right click on it and copy the folder name. So all I am doing here is first creating the folder name, then creating a slash here, getting into it, then pressing rename property again, copying actually the name of this image. The extension is .jpeg. I am pressing Ctrl V here, the .jpeg, and of course once again I have forgotten to close this bracket with care, else it won't work, and I am ending this hyperlink, sorry, this anchor tag over here. Now if I reload this page and if I click on this image, now you will see that small image is now opening its thread into a bigger image. So this thing is very useful in creating some thumbnail views. As we have seen in case of thumbnails, we are creating on some thumbnails and it opens into a bigger document, bigger image, or into a different web page or into a different website actually. So anything like those things, those sort of things, those things actually depends on this anchor tag and this hyperlink reference. All you need to do in these cases, you have to provide just the anchor tags and the hyperlink references, and the rest of thing will be done by the HTML itself. So in this chapter, what we have learned so far, we have learned how to create a table, the basic structure of a table, and the ratio, the row alignment and the column alignment, how to make alignment on individually, how to make dimension, how to make width and height dimensions or different styling attributes to those particular tags. We now know that tr is equivalent to the row and td is equivalent to the column, and if someone says you about a 3:1 table, then you can answer him back that this is actually a 3 row and a single column table, and you can insert different type of contents into your table. Now you are now habituated into the total calculation while creating a table. Thank you for staying with us. We'll be meeting you in the next classes. Till then, goodbye.